Hello everyone, in this video I would like to introduce how we can set up the Profinet communication between the Siemens i7-1200 PLC to Keyence IV2 series camera. And to set up the Profinet communication, we need to find out a couple important manuals and GSD file. So we need to find the link Keyence.com products vision sensor IV2 and go to the software or manuals download. Personally, I highly recommend you download the manual IV2 Series Users Manual Field Network. We need to use this after. And other important manual, that is IV2 Series User Manual Control Panel. Okay, there are a couple important information inside. And also from the IV2 website, it has a Siemens i7-1500 series connection guide and Rockwell control logics control guide. In this video, I will mainly discuss how can we configure the hardware, how can we assign the Profinet device name to the IV2 hardware, and how we can assign the tag list, the tag mapping list into the PLC tag. I will use i7-1200 PLC as our controller. And in next video, I will show how can we program the trigger and the camera register result. And important things to build up the Profinet, we need a GSD file. So you can scroll down and find out the GSD file. It is here, the IV2 setting file for Profinet network. Let's shift to the TI portal. And I will use TI portal version 15.1 and use the i7-1212 version 2.2 firmware controller as our PLC controller. Alright, this is TI portal 15.1 and my current CPU version, that is a version 2.2. Okay, so if this 2.2 works for this Profinet communication, all other controllers above this version 2.2 should work. Okay, so to set up the Profinet communication, we need to install the GSD file. As I just introduced, so we need to download this IV2 GSD file. So, and then we need to go back to the TI portal, install this file. So let me install this GSD file. Go to Options and find out this Manager General Station Description Files GSD. And we need to browse a file from this browse. Find out your directory and it will find this GSD file. So this IV2, this new Keyence AI built-in camera was just released recent 1 year. Okay, so this version is a version 2.33, this GSD file. And then check this box and click this install. The installation was completed, so let's close. And it needs a couple seconds to refresh the catalog. Okay, it's done. So first let's go to the hardware network view. So device configuration. So firstly, we need to initial this network. So this subnet currently haven't built up yet. Let's click this and add new subnet. And my controller is IP address is 192.168.1.211. And my camera, IV2 camera, its IP address is 192.168.1.101. Let's shift to the network view. Click this button, network view. Okay, and here, let's find out the GSD, the IV2 we just created, we just added here. So let's go to the other field, Profinet, Sensors, Keyence, Corporations, and find out this IV2. Okay, it's here. And we can drag this device at here, release. Okay, and then we need to connect the network. So we can click this square, this network port, and drag to this small network here, and release. So watch this name. And once you build up this real icon network, that means the Profinet already built up from this controller to this device. This controller is a Profinet master, the controller, and this is a Profinet device. Another important thing, that is the device name and IP address. So firstly, let's look at, click this show address label. So we will see the IP address setting here. So let's double click, we need to set IP on this device. So double click and find out the Profinet interface. So the IP address at here, we need to set 101. And device name is very important. It must be the unique under this controller. So with this checkbox turned on, this name will be automatically assigned. But personally, I would like to rename this. For example, this is IV2 camera 1. Okay. So we assign this Profinet device name. And also, you can set up this. By default, the system will automatically assign this update time. You can click this and set a manual update time. By default, the update is 4 milliseconds, which is very fast. If in this Profinet network, you have a couple more devices or equipment or remote stations, this time will be automatically increased. For the 1500 controller, this update time would be 1 second or 2 milliseconds. That depends on your application. So 4 milliseconds is enough for me. Okay. All right, we set the IP address and set the Profinet device name here, and also we set the cyclic update time, 4 milliseconds. Okay. And now let's go to here and drag this column. So you will see from this GSD file, it automatically assigns this physical input and output address at here. So to check out the detailed text within this address, input and output, we can go to the I/O tags and click one of them. Because this input starts from 1, so we can assign the name at here. And how we can assign the name? What does it mean behind this input? So we need to find out the menu. So you need to find out the IV2 series users menu field network. I just introduced where we can download, and then we need to go to Chapter 3 cyclic communication and find out this data allocation in the cyclic communication. And this is the address list. For example, couple important tags we need. Firstly, this is the signal from IV2 to PLC, from this sensor to PLC. So the first bit 1, that is the trigger response. So I will expand this. Temporarily drag here. It's easy for us to assign and compare the menu. Every number here, that's 1 byte. And this, that is 1 byte per byte, 1 line. And in this menu, it starts from 0. But our actual address, it starts from the number 1. So to make this easier, so we can change this start address from 0 or from 100. Because most of the cases, your input and output, they all start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 bytes. For other devices, for example, the wall bank or camera, we can start from 100, right? So I will start from 500. So this will be 504. So as we can see, we start from 500 and end at 891. So totally 392 bytes here for the input from the camera to PLC. And for the output, we can still start from the 500. So the input and the output, they are totally separate. So the start could be the same. Okay, this is input, this is output. Output, that is control from PLC to IV2 camera. So let's assign the tag name. Firstly, let's go to this command status and click this I/O tags. Let's assign a couple important tags. So firstly, that is this trigger response. So because in the manual it starts from 0, that is a byte 1. So we start from the 500, that is a 0 and the bit 1. So this is a 500.1, that is this trigger response. So we can name it IV2 trigger response. And next one, that is this, busy, run, and ready. And this index, that is a 2. So we need to go to find the 502. And point 2, that is the busy. Point 4, that's the run. Point 5, that is the ready. So let's go to find point 2. So point 2, that is the busy. And point 4 is run. Point 5 is ready. Ready. And another thing, that is this arrow. Arrow is 0.7. Okay. So those are the basic command status. And another important, that is this overall judgment OK, and the individual tools results, inspection results. So this overall judgment OK, that comes from the byte 4 and B0. So we need to find 504. So 504, we need to find the second line. 504 device results. So 504 here, that is the judgment result. IV2. Judgment OK. So this is a summary results. Sometimes we still need the individual tools result. So the individual inspection tool results come from the byte 6 and the byte 7. 1, 2, 3. In my demonstration, I set up 3 inspection tools here. So we could declare these 3 tags here. So that is the byte 6, 506. And here, IV2 inspection tool 1, tool 2, and tool 3. Okay, these are the basic essential tags. If you need more, so you can assign the name at here by using this tag list. They are the mapping list. Okay, this is the signal come from the IV2 to PLC. We also need the signal from PLC to IV2 to trigger the camera or switch the program. From this menu, let's scroll down and find out the output assembling PLC to IV2 series. And we can see the important signal, that is this, the trigger request. Okay, let's assign this a trigger request. That start from 0 and the bit 0. So in our case, our output, that is a Q output, it start from 500. So the byte 0, that is the trigger request. Okay. The output here, it doesn't allow us to assign the tags here. It doesn't matter. So we can go to the tag list and assign that Q500.1. Okay, let's go to the PLC tags and click this show all tags. Okay, those are the tags we just created, and that address is the Q500.0. That is IV2 trigger. So we rename it IV2 trigger command. Okay, we declare this Q. So once we turn this on, so it will send a trigger signal to the camera. Till this step, we set up the hardware configuration and the Profinet communication setup. Also, we create the tags for the control and the signal feedback. In next step, I will shift to the IV2, the camera software, and we will enable the Profinet communication function inside the camera, and we will download the controller and set up the communication, go online. Okay, so To connect the IV2 camera, we need to use IV2 Navigator from Keyence this software, and double-click. Open this software, IV2 Navigator. And to connect this IV2, I click this network connection and select this IP address of this IV2, that is 1.101. So click this connect. Now this is the IV2 camera. Is used to check in this part present. There are 3 pieces on this housing, and it should check this part present at here. And this is the picture. And to check out the Profinet setting, so firstly we need to switch to the programming mode. Program mode, and check out this advanced setting. And click this change network setting. Firstly, let's double check the IP setting, 1.101. Okay, no problem here. And then let's go to the utility and click this setting. And let's select to the Profinet. Okay, and leave the handshake and the bias by default is disabled. We will leave as a disable. Okay, click OK. And the system will tell you, so it need a restart. Once we click this OK, the camera will automatically restart itself. So my communication will drop in a short time. Okay, it will drop the communication. And once it's reboot, we can click, so we can reconnect this camera. And now the camera restart and shift to the running mode. Okay, the camera should be ready and is ready for the new trigger. Okay, so let's shift to the TI portal side. And after we config this everything, let's download. And when we download the hardware configuration, the controller need to restart. Okay, so compile and download. So it will tell us the controller need to stop. So once we load the controller will stop. And let's click the finish. It will reboot this controller. Okay, so now to set up the Profinet control, so we need to assign the Profinet device name to this IV2 amplifier. So firstly, double check the IP address of this configuration. So that is 1.101. It's the same as the actual device IP address. And then click this area. Take care, rather than this area, we need to click this area, right click, and here will show up the assign device name. Click. And let's double check the device name we set. That is IV2-camera1. And here, let's click this update list. So the software will browse all the devices connected to this network. Okay, it finds this device. Okay, that is the IV2 device. Let's double check. IP address is 1.101. Currently, this is the device name that is a default inside this amplifier. So if I click this assign name, it will assign a new name at here. So let's click this assign name. So you will see the status shows OK, and this name assigned to this online device, IV2 camera 1. Okay, click close. After we assign this device name, let's click this go online and check out the current status. Alright, now it shows everything okay. Once the icon shows this, that means the Profinet communication between the controller to this device, they all correct. Alright, that is for today. In this video, I showed how can we set up the hardware communication between the i7-1200 Siemens PLC to IV2 controller. And in next video, I will show how can we program the camera trigger and result register. And see you in next video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you like to watch more videos in my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching.